Hello and welcome to round 12 at Singapore for Tier 2 in the IRC Esports Championship. And we will be racing here at at the Singapore Grand Prix. And joining me is Nifty. Nifty, you can say hello.
Hello guys, welcome to the Singapore Grand Prix.
And this is going to be a really interesting race today, I hope. And with the track record that we've had in recent times, it may just be wet. What do you think about that?
If it's a wet race, we are surely in for like a delightful experience. That's one thing for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we just have the drivers right now entering the lobby and readying up, and we'll soon be proceeding towards quali. Our race did get delayed today due to the fact that we had the F1 race at France today. What do you think about the race?
Today was quite an amazing race, to be honest. I was really glad to witness the fight the fight between the two Mercedes and Red Bull, and Red Bull being the hunter hunting down the silver arrow of Lewis Hamilton in the last stages of the race. It was really great.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was really exciting to watch, and I hope we're gonna get that close racing here today, which we know we will, because Tier 2 is an absolute delight to watch every time.
Yes, Tier-2 has never failed to amaze me when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of the racings.
Absolutely. What do you think about strategies today? How do you think it'll work?
I think soft, medium, soft, hard would be a possible strategy.
Definitely. The softs don't last here long, do they?
No, they don't. But if the top 10 runners are trying their best to get to the front end of the grid, they'll eventually have to go on softs. So either that or they could do medium hard.
Definitely, definitely. It is going to be really interesting to see. And, well, I'm keeping my
Strategy.
fingers crossed for a really nice wet race since we always had that.
Yeah. But wet races are just let's just say a nightmare for me. Ever since I got into the whole esports scene, every wet race has just devastated my whole experience forever.
Yeah, I mean, we as spectators absolutely enjoy watching wet races and wet qualies, but as the drivers, I want to say it isn't that great of experience driving. It is fun, it is a show and a display of talent, but I prefer my dry races. Thank you very much. How about you?
No, I actually agree with your statement on the fact that we prefer dry races over wet races. Agreed, wet races are really fun to watch and really um, adrenaline rushed races, but dry races are the most appropriate way to go.
Yeah, definitely. And right now we have 17 players in the lobby right now, so we're just waiting on a few others before we can start off our quali session.
Okay. Did you witness the race between RB Ferrero, Evil Dark, and Cryptid last weekend?
Unfortunately, I did not catch that, but I have seen it before. Their battle has been continuing all season long, so it is something to definitely watch out for.
Yes. I mean, given the fact that RB Ferrero has like he has a whopping 80 plus point take over gap over Evil Dog, but Evil Dog is a man on a mission. He's constantly trying to put his Alfa Romeo out there, trying his best to get those podium places.
Absolutely, and their battle is always legendary. It is fun to watch. So we're gonna have to see what will happen today, because I do predict another good race.
Yep. Ah. So what's the status right now?
I was still waiting on a few others.
Okay.
So we still are waiting on the drivers right now, and we have about 17 people in the lobby and still waiting on the few to join in after the exciting race we had today in real life. And as we saw Max Verstappen have a late race start in the last 2 laps and overtake Hamilton for the victory. And that is something we are going to be looking out for today. The undercut is going to be really strong around here. Tire wear is extremely critical. The softs can maybe last around 5-6 laps before they really drop off a cliff around here. So tires will be a huge factor.
I definitely agree with the fact that undercut will actually play a huge role tonight at Singapore. But I think we'll see a lot of interesting strategies play out in the earlier stages of the race tonight.
Oh, we definitely will. And that is going to be something that will be critical to the race. Strategies are going to be a really huge part. And we're going to have to see who pulls out the master stroke over here.
Yeah, definitely. One thing for sure is that we'll see great racing from the Alfa Romeo and Mercedes boys for sure tonight.
Definitely. We are looking forward to that, as the Merc boys have been strong, I correct myself, the Red Bull has been really strong around here, and all season long the Red Bull boys have been doing really well, and there is a lot of competition between the top runners as well. So I think we are just about ready to go, as the drivers are currently readying up and we are going to get into our quali session.
That's glad to hear.
Yeah, and we have joining us Mr. Eccentric, who will also be joining us in the comment box today.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hello Nifty, hello Andres.
Hello Eccentric, welcome.
So Eccentric, as we're just about to start quali, what is your predictions for today's race?
Not really sure what to expect from our Tier-2 boys in Singapore. Hopefully a good race, but I'm expecting some front wings being donated and some safety cars as well.
Oh, definitely. Singapore is notorious for a lot of front wings while league racing, as it's a street track and it is quite narrow, and tire wear can really fall off a cliff so quickly that you can't just help and go into the wall sometimes. So safety cars is a huge probability as well. We're gonna have to see how those play out and who pulls the trigger at the correct time to make the strategy pay off. And just before we start quali, I actually made a small mistake, and we're gonna quickly go into the track video.
Singapore plays host to round 12 and the penultimate race of season 6. Nestled in the streets of Marina Bay, this 5-kilometer urban coliseum is a fan favorite due to its abundance of box office drama. With 21 safety cars in 12 seasons and constantly changing coastal weather, will Singapore be the sizzling appetizer for our season finale? To get an idea, let's have a look at what happened during season 5 at Singapore. The DRS straight between turns 5 and 7 will see the most overtaking action as drivers get to open the taps and let the floodgates loose. Singapore is all about maximizing track space, especially when going wheel to wheel, where drivers may often end up wheel to wall when going side by side. And as with any street circuit, push the limits too far and the not so welcoming cold embrace of your broken pride eerily awaits you.
As we now are in game, and we see a few people already going out on track. As we
seems
see
like we'll. Sorry to
go
cut you off, but it seems like we'll have a dry race today.
Oh, definitely. It is gonna be a dry race, unfortunately for us. Fortunately for the drivers. But yes, it's gonna be fun nevertheless.
Yes, nevertheless, it'll Tier-2 boys never fail to amaze us. And let's just agree on that fact, okay? They'll end up
Absolutely.
doing some shenanigans that'll just amaze me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As we
So,
see,
seems like-
Streeter is the first one out on track, and he is just laying down the rubber with the other cars, and he will be starting his hot lap very soon. as he comes to the twisty corners of Singapore, and it is quite a daunting track. And if I say so, it is one of the more technically difficult tracks and one of the most difficult tracks to drive on. What do you say about
Seems
that?
no, it's true about the fact that this specific track is a daunting track and it's a really scary track because of its narrowness and the width of the track. But as we go around um, with Streeter on his hot lap, is it? No, he's on his out lap. Either ways, as we go on the out lap with Streeter, seems like that we have a few drivers going for medium compound tires for the hot laps. I think they'll be running in for medium hards.
As you
tonight.
see, Anish Montero has just started his lap. He's the first one out here on the flying lap. Nails a turn 1, back to turn 3, just about 6 to the apex, gets good enough traction on the exit and is heading down. Doing really well. Tier 2 is quite a competitive bunch of people, and we're gonna see a very close and bunched up pack, so it's gonna be quite a pleasure to watch today.
Definitely. It's always exhilarating to watch Tier-2 drivers go around narrow tracks and street circuits.
Oh, definitely, and we love to watch the carnage, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Hopefully not too much today. Maybe just a safety car or two to spice it up, but not too many front wings. I hope for the driver's
Yeah,
sake.
but I reckon our drivers will try to play it really cautiously tonight, considering the fact that they are running for the long haul on this track. And as you mentioned in the start of this session, tire wear is really high on this track, which accounts for them to make sure they make moves cautiously and don't take too much risks, so that they do end up getting a few points here and there.
Absolutely. As now we see Montero heading towards sector 3, and he did set some sort of purple sectors as he was the first car out of drive. We're gonna see how competitive a time he can put in on his first run over here, as he's just about rounding the final corner and comes across with a 1:37.0, a quite decent time. As the next car we have on track will be the Haas, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I guess everyone is on an outlap with the exception of a few. As RB Ferrello, our man to watch, puts in a 1:36.2 right off the bat.
Yeah, he's just a flying fin.
Absolutely. He's doing really well. As we have a yellow flag with what I believe is a Ferrari. But it seems as we just missed it. Maybe he just slowed down to give track position to someone else. As you see, Montero has already invalidated, probably on his in lap, as Faizan put in a 1:37.2 and Death Hunter with a 1:35.7, a brilliant time right off the bat, just about 6 tenths, about 5-6 tenths quicker than his competition RB Ferrello over here.
Yeah, but that hunter came out of nowhere, to be honest. I didn't expect him to show such great praise in the start of the session itself.
Absolutely, but that is a very good time, definitely. As we're gonna see what the others can put in. As we see here, a B20 is on a lap. He's coming through sector 1. As you see, there are some yellow flags ahead of him. I wonder what that's all about. As you see another Ferrari in the yellow flag zone. As the next car across track will be a Williams, I believe. Streeter? So, okay, Streeter's just started a lap.
Yeah, he has. And he just invalidated it. That sucks. That sucks to see.
He just outbraked himself by that little bit, goes off, and just that's his lap done for now. I hope he has enough fuel for another one, or he might just have to go into the pits, put on a fresh pair, and come out again.
Yep, definitely.
Unfortunate
It's
for
really
him.
hard for the drivers to control the cars in from the turn 1 to turn 4 and the Nicole Highway turn, the turn 7, turn 8, and turn 9. Often I've seen racers and drivers go.
And Streeter retired from the session. What has happened here? Sorry to cut you off, but I think he has crashed, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, seems like he has just crashed.
That is really unfortunate. We just missed him on that POV, but we should be seeing him somewhere here. I think he
Yeah,
just went
turn
straight
7.
ahead. There he is. He's just gone
Yep.
straight ahead into the runoff zone and crashed. I wonder what's happened. That's really, really unfortunate. As we see, Crazy Joe has put in a time of 148.2 and WTF Chicken with a 139.2. And Rambo has topped the time sheets with a 135.7. Wow, this
Red
is
Bull
getting
boys are
really
really good.
spicy. Yeah, Red Bull boys are
Yeah.
looking very competitive today.
Yeah, but definitely, as I was talking about turn 7, we just saw a driver witness the sheer dangerous braking zone of turn 7 as we see
Definitely.
Streeter go in.
Just a
Ah,
second, apologies. Just bringing up chat so we can talk to our commentators of correction, our viewers over here. And Soham Day says another great race coming up, and we definitely agree this is going to be fun as there is yellow flags, but I do believe it is just Rambo on his in lap conserving his tires because that tire management is required over here. And even in quali, if those are the those are the set of tires that you are the quickest on, you want to save them for the race.
I'm sorry, I was a bit distracted by reading the chat. Can you please come again? I'm really sorry.
No issues. I was just saying Rambo was causing a bit of yellow flags in Sector 3, but I believe he was conserving his tires as tire management here will be critical and he's just trying to save those tires for the race. As you see, WTF Chicken come into the pits and he will have another go, and we do expect a very competitive time from him today.
Yep, definitely. I reckon WTF Chicken went up to the podium bases in the qualify session last weekend, but eventually
Yeah.
he didn't have the base enough to hold on to his position and actually grab that podium in his bag.
Definitely.
But
As
yeah,
you see, drivers are making their way around track. There are two cars really close by, and that is a Williams and a Red Bull, I believe. Let's see what's going on over there. They were causing a bit of yellow flags. It is RB Ferrell on his out lap, so I don't believe that should be too much of an issue over there. As I believe Crazy Joe is on a lap. Let's see how this one goes for him. Absolutely nails that apex, keeping it tight over there and getting good enough traction on the exit. Coming to the very critical corner, one of the toughest corners on this track. Very easy to lock up and go straight. Gets good traction on the exit. He will get DRS and it's now wide open. Heading to the next corner. And I apologize for not knowing the corner names and numbers. That's
no, it's totally fine.
that's a little that's on me. I'm sorry about that. But he has the rounds up going towards the pit section. Seems to be doing good enough. He should be improving, I believe. And apart from AlphaTauri, I believe he should be the next car across the line. But let's just
Definitely
as
with 8. Wait, I reckon it's 8 minutes left. Yeah, 8 minutes left
8 minutes left.
in the session. I think it's right about time for drivers to dive into the pits, get it, like slap a new set of slicks on the car and go for the hot laps.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you see a lot of cars diving into the pits, some coming out, and the first car out on track after fitting new tires.
Oh,
As
somebody got
it
worried
seems
about-
like I've gotten kicked from the session, which is really,
Oh,
really fun.
Rins, fix your game.
We apologize for that. I was really excited about that lap, which is coming ahead. As we see couple in the comment section asking for ASMR. Absolutely, but on a different stream.
Yes.
I would love to do that though. I love ASMR, but okay, the session is not available. I'm not even doing anything. It's just constantly kicking me. This is really interesting. Like, I have no control over what is happening right now, but we apologize for the technical issues with this game. And once again, we have to thank Codemasters. And I feel like I say this every single time I come onto the stream, and you guys have probably heard me say it 100 times, but Codemasters really need to get their shit together because I swear to God, the amount of bugs I've had in this game, I'm literally stuck. Like, I just keep getting kicked from the session. Let's see if I can join back in, and this is quite a disaster right now. Let's try joining in again and I hope this does work. Wow. Apologize for this, and I believe I might just have to restart the game because it is throwing me in a complete loop again and again and kicking me out of the session even though I'm not doing anything. So I believe a quick restart should fix the problems, but just till then we're gonna head on. We can't see quali and we apologize for that, but we can see a hot lap set by Propi just to see how it would be going around on this track in an extremely quick car.
Hello, my name is Babaji and I'm here to present you a hot lap around Singapore by a very own Nomo Pro player. As we see him approaching Sector 1, Turn 1 specifically, he mounts all the curves, makes sure his car is straight, approaches the heavy traction zone of Turn 3, gets it correct, nails it perfectly, heading for Turn 5, where it's really difficult to maintain the speed. You need to carry as much speed as possible without hitting the wall, as you lose a lot of time if you don't. As we see him now head down into Sector 2. Sector 2 is still one of the most tightest sections on the track. You really need to be on it, you need to ride the curves, make sure you maximize your track limits. Turn 8 and 9 is a special pet peeve of mine, as it's really difficult to get the power on. You need to come in as wide as possible, carry the speed through these corners, avoid the walls. As we see now the Pancho head down into turn 10, 11, 12, the Anderson Bridge section. Car tends to understeer here. You want to apply as little throttle as possible. Maximize again your track limits, as we see him take a wide entry into the hairpin. Beautiful. And he gets a great exit, as there's a decent enough straight ahead of him. And we see him now enter the third sector. Third sector is still much wider than sector 2, but that doesn't mean you slack off. You need to be on the power all the time. Maximize your track limits as we enter one of the first chicanes in the last sector. Try to mount as much as curb, maximize your exit, avoid the wall. And now we go into we are approaching the final chicane. Now you want to mount as much as curves as possible. Curves are king right now here. Maximize your exit as we head on for the final corner. This is a tricky one. You need to really carry the speed. You cannot be conservative at all, or you just might go wide or spin out. And that was a hot lap around Singapore. Brilliant driving by the Pancho.
So that was a hot lap, and it does seem like there is a bit of an issue with the lobby, as we are trying to sort it out, and we apologize for this. This game has just been a treat from start to end, and it has got progressively worse over time, which is quite shameful. But in the meantime, we can do something a bit interesting. Let's see. I do believe I will be able to add something in here. As what you will be hearing now is a original composition. It is a track I have made myself, and we can jam out to that while we get this audio issues fixed.
Yeah. Just got in a word from our team members. Apparently, they're still checking up with what the technical issue is. We'll get back to you soon.
Bro. Anyway, I've put music. We did have some music playing, and we seem to have sorted out the issue for now, and we have joined back in the lobby, so we will be quickly hopping back into quali with just a few minutes remaining and seeing where it's all happening.
Glad to hear that.
What's really interesting is now another bug we're having, which is there is no game audio. But here we go, we have sorted that out. As you see, IRC Electric has put in a blisteringly quick time of 1:35.5 in just the 9 moments of qualifying and come into the pit. So it does seem like he holds provisional pole. But RB Ferrello, a man on a charge, is currently on an outlap, having a little bit of cheeky cutting, corner cutting to maybe save some time. And we will be looking out for him, Rambo, and Death Hunter. As you see, Deepak Raj not even put in a lap, and he's retired from the session, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, and I can. Rambo's still on a hot lap by now. He had 2 purple sectors.
Okay, this is interesting. This is a very new camera angle that I've seen, but it's fun to watch anyway.
Mhm.
And we see there are yellow flags, and let's just see where all the action is happening.
It seems like we have quite a lot of medium runners in the session tonight.
Oh, definitely. As we see, Abhi has retired from the session. I believe he has crashed. This is really unfortunate. I think we will be seeing him right here. Oh, there he is. It is unfortunate. I think he just outbraked himself by that little bit and has gone straight into the barriers. As there's another yellow flag in sector 1, Williams of Crazy Joe. I believe maybe he was just giving way, but anyway, he's invalidated his lap, and that's the session done for him. But let's go on board the Red Bulls. What's happening over there? We have RB Ferrello and Rambo both on a flying lap.
Yeah, Rambo just had a yellow sector too, so I hardly doubt he'll be able to keep up with his pace and actually cover up the time that he lost.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But as you see, there's another yellow flag which RB Ferrello went through, which was a Williams that has gone out. So the drivers are feeling a bit pressured at this point with the dying moments of qualifying. We have yellow flags coming around here and there, and more yellow flags as Karthik DRM retires, and I believe he might have retired on track, which is just not great. As RB Ferrello completely misses the apex, that's not going to help him in his time, and that's unfortunate as we have more yellow flags absolutely everywhere. There is a Williams, and is it Crazy Joe? I think it is Crazy Joe, just trying to stay out of the way of everyone and be a good racer over here, which is good to see. And I believe the next car we have coming across will be RB Ferrello, but I don't know if he has improved or not. We're gonna have to see. He runs out of ERS and improves, but just loses out on provisional pole by 300ths of a second, which is gutting, but definitely he could have put in a much better lap if he didn't encounter those yellow flags, which is unfortunate. And let's see, the next car on track is a Merc of Montero as he jumps up to P4. It's a really good lap from him as well with the 135.767. Are you looking at the top 5? They're all covered by just 0.2 of a second. It's absolutely brilliant. 0.2 of a second between the top 5, and it's great to watch as we have our man on pole who is Electric, who came out of nowhere but puts in that one lap and has taken pole over here, which is brilliant to watch.
It's definitely brilliant to watch Electric perform so good. As we've witnessed in the past 2 weekends, Electric is... Okay, his mindset is to start from the back of the grid and try to gain as many as positions as he can by keeping his whole race clean, and he has successfully managed to do something as such for the past 2 races ever since he came out.
Absolutely, and let's just run you. Sorry to cut you off, but let's just run you down the grid order real quick before this ends. We have Electric at P1 taking pole position. Then we have the Red Bull boys taking 2 and 3. RB Fellow and Rambo. Montero in P4, impressive qualifying. Death Hunter P5, P6 Faizan, P7 Evil Dog, P8 WTF Chicken, and that's all we have time for. But now we are going to head into the race, which is going to be interesting to watch. And the grid looks to be close enough. In qualifying, so let's see how that carries over to the race pace.
Oh, yep,
In
definitely.
qualifying, so let's see how that carries over to the race pace.
I'm feeling really. I'm feeling that we'll have a great race tonight. We'll have a clean race tonight. That's what I'm thinking of tonight.
That's a good thought, and let's see. I hope it will be good, and we should be seeing some great racing today because Tier 2 is very, very competitive, and we have seen some insane races in the part, and no doubt today is going to be very, very interesting to watch as well. And some people I did not actually see in quali were Monish Banger. Usually he does seem quick. Maybe today's just not his day. And WTF Chicken has been so far silent today. I think he qualified in P8, which is a bit disappointing for him, as I believe he is one of the quicker drivers over here. But We are starting our formation lap currently. As we see a couple of boosted cars, but I hope everything is okay as of now.
Yeah, but either ways, let's have a quick rundown of our grid today. P1 Electric, P2 Arby Ferrello, followed by Rambo, Monterio, Dead Hunter, 5 Zan, Evil Dog 666, WTF Chicken, Akash, Scripted, RB20, Scary Pumpkin, Crazy Joe, Streeter, Monish Banger, Karthik DRM, a newbie in Tier 2, Monk, followed by Deepak Raj.
Definitely, and what's surprising to me is Deepak Raj is starting at the end of the pack or at the last position, which is really interesting. Maybe he does have a strategy master plan he wants to play here, but he did not put a quali lap, which is surprising for me.
Yeah, that is actually true. We saw him go out of the pits for a single lap, and then he didn't go out. He just dived straight into the pits and went through to his garage and sat throughout the whole session. I think he'll be planning to saving his front wings in the start. That's what his plan could be.
Definitely, if you take it easy into the first lap or the first 2-3 laps, you can easily gain a lot of positions because not a lot of races are won on the first lap, but a lot have been lost there. So something to think about. As we see our AWS F1 insights, the predicted pit stop strategy should be a 2-stop or a 3-stop with soft, medium as one of the options. So that's really interesting. Tire wear over here is absolutely critical, and I think maybe around, as AWS has predicted, maybe around lap 6-7 should be a good place, if not earlier, to pit and get those tires in. As you see, Electric is backing up the pack to the pit section. As we see, the pack is a bit spread out. As we have the last car, I believe it is Monk, all the way back, maybe four corners later than everyone else, but he will be coming up soon, as Electric is rounding out the pack and is coming around the final corner and will take his position on the grid at P1. This is going to be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, definitely. But it'll be the crucial moments of how the soft runners managed to save their tires in the start of the race. That's something we should look out for.
Absolutely, as the grid is forming up slowly but surely. It is going to be fun to watch, as I believe Deepak Raj and a Ferrari of Monk are coming across the final spots and filling up the grid. And we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and off we go. And it seems like RB Fellow has gotten a great start, but Electric just managing to hold him off, and he seems to be a lot of cars going out on the runoff area, but Electric has held on to his position. As we see Rambo and Death Hunter, as all the cars are really close, everyone is shooting their shot right now, and this has been so far very clean, so it's really good to watch. Electric does hold the lead, and the gap between him and P2 is 8/10, with RB Ferrello just dropping back that little bit. As we see cars swapping positions all around the track with Crazy Joe, and this is unfortunate. As we see Crazy Joe and IRC Abhi, both of them have a little moment and go off track, as we have yellow flags in sector 2, and there is a huge scuffle happening over here.
Well, as we talk about it, we see Faizan getting the first penalty of the session tonight.
Oh, that is unfortunate for him as well. As you see, the pack is all bunched up and they're all squabbling for position. As we see more yellow flags, and what has happened over here? We have Akash just gone into a wall. Oh, this is unfortunate for him as well. I believe there might have been a little incident, as he drops back to the pack as well, and that's the third runner in the first few laps to just lose his position. As everyone is ever so close, as the closest battle right now, Rambo and Death Hunter. Death Hunter has just managed to make the move in Rambo and got ahead of the Red Bull boy. This is really interesting. He got the move done just before the bridge section, which is really daunting place, but he has made it stick for now. We're going to have to see how this plays off. Electric has already pulled a 9/10 gap and maybe just going to extend it to over a second. So That's going to be really interesting to watch. Death Hunter just seemed to have ghosted, so I hope everything's alright on his end. Oh,
Yeah,
another incident? What has happened? Deepak Raj has gained a few positions. As Scary Pumpkin seems like he has disconnected. As Karthik DRM is also ghosted for me. I hope this is not a
Wasting
lobby
a lot
glitch.
of. No. It's not a lobby glitch, but I reckon it's because a lot of drivers are coasting at this point right now to avoid carnage in the turns.
Maybe that could be
possibly be a
possible.
thing. Yeah, that
You
is plausible.
see-
Yeah.
We see Akash drive into the pits, probably to repair the massive damage he had on the shunt. Deepak Raj has fallen to P14. He's gotten overtaken by Scary Pumpkin, but he is trying to make his way back. As we see blue flags, which is really weird. I believe there is a certain lobby glitch going on. As there's a little bit of shunts between Deepak Raj and Monk, and this is getting really feisty indeed. As both McLaren boys are bunched up together, and Monk has managed to overtake both of them.
It's really weird to see Deepak Raj lose three positions right in the fraction of like a lap or two. He managed to have a great start and went from P18 to P12, but right now you see him back in P15, trying to keep his car away from his teammate at P20.
Absolutely, and we see Cryptid has been the biggest gainer, one of the biggest gainers of the start, gaining 5 positions from P10 to P5, so that's going really well for him. And we have another Monish Banger, 6 positions gained, and Karthik DRM 5 positions gained, so it looks like they just stayed out of the carnage. As we see WTF Chicken heading into the pits on the medium, so I believe he might have got some damage. As we have more yellow flags in Sector 1, what is happening over here? We don't know, but definitely the field is really bunched up right now, with the gap between the top 10 almost close to a few seconds between them. It's really, as you see Montero pulling a move on his teammate Cryptid, and he has gotten ahead. As we have more yellow flags, the Mercs are looking really strong today as well, and one of the Red Bull boys, Rambo, has dropped to P16, which is really unfortunate for him. And the Merc boys are currently in P4 and 5, as we have more yellow flags in Sector... What is happening, Sector 1 and 2? And is that a Red Bull? Oh,
Yeah. I reckon it's the Red Bull at turn 8.
it absolutely is a Red Bull, and his race has just gone from bad to worse for Rambo, and
That
it's
sucks.
really sad. He had such a great qualifying, and it just has come all unraveled in the race, which is unfortunate, as he has WTF Chicken on the hard tires behind him. So maybe this strategy might pay off for Chicken. We're gonna have to see. As Ferrello has overtaken Electric, what has happened here? We've completely missed this action. Electric is now just 7 tenths behind, but there's so many
seems
yellow
like-
flags happening.
Yeah, so it's not something that we could actually pay focus on.
There seems to have been another incident with Rambo and WTF Chicken. And I don't know if Chicken does have damage. I believe he might just have it again, but he looks fine as of now.
Chicken doesn't seem to have any damage on his car, on his Renault.
He gets a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Rambo. So my
Yep.
hunch was correct. They did have. As we see the Ferrari and Racing Point of Faizan and Monish Banger go side by side in turn 1, up through turn 3, and they're going side by side still. This is going to be a really interesting to watch.
That was a great move.
Oh,
That is so sad.
this is just a constant yellow flag. The whole race has just been yellow flags throughout, and surprisingly there hasn't been a safety car or VSC, even with so many collisions and accidents. As you see Crazy Joe and Deepak Raj going side by side again and making it through fairly cleanly, and that is great to see some clean racing around here. As Deepak Raj has now gained 7 positions, so this race has been going a tad better for him than others, and Monish Banger has also now gained 9 positions. So
But Manish Mangal looks like a man of his vision. He's just flying out there right now with 9 positions gained already from the race start and in under 4 laps.
definitely, as we see Scary Pumpkin is just about 5 times behind, and he is going into the DRS zone. I believe what we see here is what we call a classic DRS train, where absolutely everyone has DRS. Ooh. Scary
Missing his braking
Pumpkin
point.
just outbrakes himself, manages to make the corner, but he's lost a hell of a lot of time to the guys in front. which is unfortunate for him. As you go onward, Monk and Faizan. This battle has been brewing up for a little bit. As they head into the bridge section, Faizan is on the softs, I believe. Does he have damage? Could you look and tell me, because I'm unable to see the damage screen as of now. Yes, he does have damage as he heads into the pits on the soft tires, so that gamble on the softs did not pay off, I guess. As you see the closest battle currently, Monish Banger and Evil Dog just about 9 tenths behind, as IRC Electric and RB Ferrello are just 3 tenths apart, as Electric thinks about sending it but just backs off at the last second because he might not have made it back corner, which is really interesting. Rambo gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and I believe he is right now in the last position in P18, which is unfortunate for him. But Electric now with DRS and spamming that overtake. Let's see if he can get ever so close to pull out that overtake on RB Ferrello, but just seems a bit too far. Breaks a bit later than Ferrello, but makes the corner, and he's keeping the gap fairly consistent. As we see, Monk and Scary Pumpkin are getting even closer, with the gap now 8 tenths.
But if it's fine, can you use the numbers to change the HUD cams?
Absolutely.
Anyways, as we talk about Scary Pumping trying to make a move on Monk in front of him, this battle has been brewing for quite a while over the past 3 laps, and let's talk about it. Scary Pumping just eating the whole curb, and his underboard, his bargeboard just eating it all.
As Karthik DRM retires from the session, what has happened over here? And there we see his car on the left. I believe he might have just lost it on traction coming out of the final corner and has retired, which has now triggered a virtual safety car. So lap 6, virtual safety car. You think it's a good time to quit?
It's definitely right about the proper time to go pit, slap on the new mediums or hards or whatever the most suitable pit strat is for, depending on what tires you qualified on.
Definitely. And what's interesting is I don't really see anyone pitting right now. I believe everyone from P12 onwards have got into incidents and have already made their pit stops. Let's see how many have made their stops. So yes, my hunch was correct. Everyone from P9 onwards have made their stops, so it's really interesting. They could not actually gain from the VSC. Which is unfortunate. And let's look at penalties. Crazy Joe has got 8 seconds of penalties, and Scary Pumpkin with 3, WTF Chicken with 5, and Rambo with 8 seconds. As we have green flags again and racing has started. As the closest battle on track is Deepak Raj and Crazy Joe. Deepak Raj now with DRS and with overtake, but it looks a little bit lean in overtake. What do you think?
To be honest, he has 30% of his DRS right now, and I reckon it will be a tough thing for him, a tough is for him to deploy an attack on Crazy Joe right now, considering the fact that Crazy Joe is already at a faster pace than him, trying to fight with Monish Mango. And while as we talk about it, we see Sky Pumpkin's racing point going off in the final turn 9, I reckon. Was it turn 9?
Yes, and as we see, Electric has now come into the pit stop, and he is making his pit stop from the softs. I believe he just missed out on the pit stop due to the VSC, as he was already crossed the line. And he is serving a penalty? I don't know, but that was a really slow stop, which is unfortunate for him as he comes out in P9.
I reckon it was because he tried to make some changes in his front wing.
Could be possible, that is a good theory. As you see, Crazy Joe and Monish Banger are getting extremely close. And the gap between them just close to 5 tenths of a second.
Ooh, as we see the fight between P4 runner-up Monish Banger and Crazy Joe, seems like Deepak Raj has managed to keep his McLaren out of trouble and has come from P18 from back of the grid to the top 10 podium points. To the top 10 points, I'm sorry.
Absolutely, this race has been going really well from him. As we see Monish Banger have a slight moment, but he makes the corner. Crazy Joe is looking good on the ERS. He has about 50% and he has the DRS, so I believe he could be playing the long game over here.
It's kind of a proven fact about the strategy of saving up your ERS on this track, because as much as decent ERS gaining points you have, it's better to have a lot of ERS saved up and have that backhand. Problem. Oh, that's better.
Okay, did this just happen?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize for that.
Yeah, you switched scenes, I reckon.
Okay, I believe that might have been a shortcut, in-game shortcut that might have led to that. I
Totally
apologize
fine.
for
It's
that.
totally fine. Anyways, tell us what did we miss on?
So what we missed on currently is the battle between Crazy Joe, and it was, I believe, between Monish Banger, but Monish Banger and Montero have made their pit stops now. Montero is on the hard tires, Monish Banger on the mediums, so they are a bit of different strategies. We're gonna have to see how this one plays out. As WTF Chicken is right on the tail of Scary Pumpkin. Oh, what was that? What happened there? That looked like, maybe looked like a brake check, or he had an issue, but that is really weird. He almost took out WTF Chicken, and Chicken just about saved it. And
The stewards
this
will
is
definitely
what
happy.
happened. Yeah, definitely the stewards are going to be pissed off about that.
Yeah.
As we see, WTF Chicken just gets stuck in 6th gear. I thought that was a lobby glitch, but seems like it's working fine now. So maybe he just got the gears to stick a bit, or maybe he's having a bit of technical issues. But as you see, Scary Pumpkin has not dropped down behind Faizan. Oh, and it is damage, I believe he's had, which is why he had to brake so early back there with Chicken. And Monish Banger has now left the session. He's unfortunate, as Scripted now comes in for his pit stop. As we see one wing go on another, which is funny to watch, as Scripted now comes out, I believe, in P13 with a big gap to Faizan behind. I guess not. So
Definitely, it's definitely a huge hassle to, comprehend all of the pit stops coming in right now in play.
definitely.
But
Let's just
I
look at the
reckon,
pitted.
yeah, I reckon the telemetry data on the pit stops will be a huge help to us.
And now we see the whole pack. It's very split between the hard and the mediums, and which is really interesting to watch how this is going to play off. What do you think? Will the medium runners, I mean, of course they will pit again, but do you think the hards could go to the end, or it's a bit of a stretch?
I think it's a bit of a stretch. I'm pretty sure the hard ones will have a tough time at the end of the race, considering the fact that it'll basically be driving on ice, because they'll lose pretty much all of the grip eventually.
Definitely. As we see Thermophobe in the comment section saying more wings, more performance. And I believe that might just be the case for Merc, as we saw them putting 2 wings on at the same time. So, good eye, Thermo.
But come to think of it, the hard runners will have an actual advantage over the medium runners in the later stage of the races around lap 18 or 17, considering the fact that they'll have a bit of grip to deploy that attack they want on the front runners.
Right.
But either ways.
As you see, Chicken is on the back of Monish Bango, who seems to have been disconnected. So that will make it an easy pass for him, I believe. However, ooh, what has happened over here? Monk has just misjudged his braking point and absolutely taken out WTF Chicken. And this is really unfortunate for both of them. And WTF Chicken has been so unlucky throughout his racing in leagues where he does
qualifying
come
either.
across in incidents like this a lot. So it's really unfortunate for him, and the stewards are really not going to be happy about that.
Yeah. Come to think of it, Monk already has front left wing damage because of that shunt in the back half. WTF chicken.
Right, and I believe there were rumors around that the new game F1 2021 has simulated wing damage as well, rear wing damage. So they may be able to get away right now with these shunts with no wing damage to the car on the rear, but I believe in the new game it's going to be a lot harder to get away with.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely true. What you say about the new game and the new simulation damage in the game.
Definitely, as the timing screen has decided to just not show any intervals, as once people start coming across the line, we are able to provide more information from the telemetry. As Deepak Raj has been having a good race as of now, he's made a very good recovery. I mean, not recovery, he started last, but he has come up to the back.
It's definitely sad to see Electric, our pole position seater, to be down in the P6.
Definitely, as we did see some yellow flags, and I believe it might just be the car of Akash. I mean, he has lost the end plate on his front left, so it seems like he might have had a little incident with the walls over there. So it's unfortunate for him as well. I believe he might just be coming in for another wing change. As you see, Monk dive into the pits after completely losing his front wing with that incident with WTF Chicken. So that is unfortunate for him as well.
It's definitely unfortunate to see all of the drivers getting a lot of damage in the front wings, but hey, what can you do? You're driving in Singapore. That's something you should be prepared for. It seems like this track rewards driver the way they drive and try to keep it clean.
Akash has retired from the session, and we'll just get a view of what has happened. I believe he is in the pits, but we do have yellow flags for some reason, which is really weird to see. Sector 1 has yellow flags, yet we cannot spot his car on track, so I believe he might have just been done with the race and gone to the pits and retired.
Now, why did we talk about it? Seems like Emil Dog has a stop and go penalty.
Oh, that is really unfortunate for him. I believe he may be serving it right now. Oh no, he isn't. He's gone in for his pit stop.
Yep, he'll get a few changes made to his wing as well. Yep.
Right, and as we see, he is getting extra performance from that double wing that we are seeing over here. But Deepak Raj now in the top 3 with Streeter in top 2. Wow, this is really interesting. RB Ferrello and Streeter are in an insane battle right now, swapping positions almost every corner, and this is the battle to watch out for at this moment. The rest of the field is quite spread out. Streeter goes a bit wide as RB Ferrello gets a relatively straight line exit, but it seems like Ferrello is struggling with the RS with his light blinking, and it seems like Streeter does have about 50%, so he has that going for him.
Yeah, but it seems like can we go on board with RB Ferrello and see his ERS status?
Definitely, he has.
Yeah, he's running low on the
12%.
RS.
So if this was any other track, he would have been a sitting duck. But overtaking over here is very, very tough, and I do believe you have to be almost 1.5 seconds faster per lap to actually pull off an overtake, if not more. Don't quote me on the numbers, but it is somewhere of between a 1.5 to 2 seconds faster to actually pull off an overtake. So he might hang on, but Streeter is the man on the charge. He is doing really well. I believe he did retire in quali, but he is now in P2 on the hard tires and chasing down RB Ferrello.
Yeah.
As you see,
And his
Electric is right on the back of Deepak Raj, and this is one of the battles to watch out for as well. Electric, our pole sitter, dropped back to P4, has a few penalties, but Deepak Raj is the man he is currently hunting. As Deepak Raj goes slightly wide, has to lift off, and Electric had to lift off as well. But with the DRS going into turn 1, he makes the corner easily and just about makes the move stick for now. And that was a great move by Electric.
That was a good drifty boy. Can we have telemetry for the tires?
Absolutely, let's check out the tires.
Ooh, seems like we have Streeter on 12 lap old hards. And Monterio with 4 lap old Hearts. Okay.
As you see the battle brewing up between Deepak Raj and Death Hunter as well. Deepak Raj on a bit older tires, 12 lap roll tires, and Death Hunter on 7 lap. But the pace advantage for Death Hunter is there as he did make the mistake, but he has 6% ERS. I believe he might have just deployed all of that trying to overtake Deepak Raj, but in the long run this might not end favorably for him. Let's just hope he can sit behind Electric and regain and harness that ERS back and then go on a charge again.
Yep, definitely. Can we go on board with Farzan?
Absolutely, Faizan now running in P9.
Seems like he's having his own time, his own clean air to himself.
Absolutely, the field is quite spread out as we see in P15. Let's see.
Seems like there's a close battle between the Alpha and Red Bull. Oh, and Monk makes a move on Rambo, keeping it clean. Ah,
As we
Rambo-
see Rambo just lose the car and spin. And I was just gonna say this was the battle that we had been hoping for, the battle between the Alphas and the Red Bulls, but unfortunately P14 and P15. But Rambo has had another moment and he's
pretty sure Rambo will just try to, get over this weekend as fast as possible and try to forget
absolutely.
it.
As you see
that's
RB
really
Ferrello in the
won.
lead, but if you look off into the distance, that's his teammate right there that he's about to be lapping very soon.
Oh,
That is
sad.
really, really sad for him. As you see right there, there's the second Red Bull of Rambo almost getting lapped by his teammate. This is not the weekend that he was hoping for, and this is not the weekend that we were hoping to see him. But
It's a good thing for Red Bull to get out of the way from Javi Ferrello.
Yep.
But it'll definitely be sad for the Red Bull boys tonight.
Definitely, it is unfortunate for the Red Bull boys, but the Alphas are having a bit of bad luck here as well with Monk in P14 and Evil Dog in P7. So it is quite a thing to watch for. Rambo being very, very cautious and letting past the other drivers and not getting in the way. As we know, ghosting in this game is a bit unpredictable. When sometimes you think you're ghosted, and when a car tries to go away, the collision is caused. So it's nice of him to just give the position and be a good back marker. As you see some connection issues in Street, as car seems to be absolutely all over the place. It is quite entertaining to watch. As we see Monish Bangor and Montero getting ever so close in this section. They are now in sector 3 and coming across the final corner. Let's see if Monish Bangor can pull off this move into turn 1. Ooh, he goes a little bit
really
wide.
wide.
He loses the time and I believe he'll have to stick behind for a couple of laps more for now.
I reckon the best plausible time for Monish Bangor to deploy an attack on Montero will be lap 17 or 19. That's probably right about the proper time for him to actually make up the gap between him and Montero and actually
Absolutely.
attack him.
Absolutely. So a slight lock up there from Monish Bangor, but you see Montero struggling with the RS. He has just about maybe 5-6%. So he is going to be a sitting duck once Monish Bangor does get closer. As you see, IRC a B20 pit. So it's interesting. He's now going to be coming out of the hard tires, and Deepak Raj is also pit and come out of the hard tires in P12. So these guys are the ones fully committing to a 2-stop. And do you think we'll be seeing a 3-stop today apart from the guys who had damage?
To be honest, I don't really think we'll be seeing 3-stop strategies pull off tonight. Until unless they end up getting a lot of travel because of the battles they get indulged in. Until unless something as such does not happen, I don't think we'll see 3-stops pull off.
Absolutely. As we have E-Rock Gaming in chat saying the field is so spread out, and indeed the field was quite spread out, but now I think it is time for another set of pit stops. So people are going to come out close to each other and we're going to see a lot more action. And we have Harshit Reddy, Harry Rocks in chat saying homeboy Electric OP, and definitely Electric has been having a good race. He started on pole, he lost out a few positions, but he's still in P3 and that is still a podium. He might just have a chance to do even better. And Streeter OP, definitely. Streeter is quite OP today. He is running in P2 and just 3 seconds off the lead on the hard tires. So I believe it's a very good race for him as well.
Yeah, let's have a look at position changed telemetry. It'll give us a good overview.
Absolutely. Let's just look at the position change. So our biggest gainer of today, Mr. Streeter. Ooh, what is happening over here? We see Monish Banger and Montero getting a little bit elbows out with each other, and slight touch, but there seems to have not been any damage, so it is okay. But Montero does lose that position to him, as he's now being chased down by Evil Dog. Yes.
Yeah, no. Whereas Monish Manga made a move on Montario, Evil Dog was trying his best to get in the action and make a move.
Absolutely. He was trying to just make the best out of the situation. So it's good to see, and I believe he might just get Montero, but Montero is doing a little better on ERS right now. I believe since his red lights aren't blinking, he has saved up some ERS, so he will be able to defend more competently than without.
Definitely, absolutely right.
As Evil Dog just about close to 4 tenths behind, and we will be coming across the final few corners on the lap. And do you think he'll be close enough to make a move down in turn 1?
If he gets the DRS straight, he'll definitely be able to make a move in say turn 3, turn 4.
Absolutely, he comes ever so close with just about 2.5 tenths. We have a yellow flag in sector 3, and it is a Renault, I believe, of WTF Chicken. What has happened over here? Oh, it isn't WTF Chicken, who is now in P12. It is him, and his overtake button is turned on. I believe he might have lost it on traction on the hard tires, and those might have switched on the overtake a little too quickly. And
he already has
here we see him donate a bit more of his front wing to the wall, which is unfortunate. This race has gone from bad to worse from him, as he will be diving into the pits. It's really sad to see a quick driver like him lose out positions like this. Oh.
But that is
quite entertaining to watch. He seems to have just missed the pit lane and was nice enough to reverse that slight bit and make the corner. We, believe it or not, I have seen some retirements right into that corner. I've seen people try to pit, just overshoot the corner and go straight into that wall and retire. So at least he didn't do that, which is good to know. As we see him with another pit stop, the closest battle on track is now Evil Dog and Monish Banger, as his gearbox seems to be murdering our ears right now. So we will be watching from a distance.
So wait, what do you think about Streeter and RB Ferrello's battle? Do you think Streeter has enough tire life to actually deploy an attack on RB Ferrello in the later stages of the race?
I believe right now,
I mean, he's definitely closing the gap right now, considering the fact he was plus 7 seconds a while back.
right, I feel like now is the time where the medium tires start falling off, and the hard tires will be the quicker choice, even if it is a 12-13 lap old tires. So I believe he should close the gap, but at the same time RB Ferrello should be going in for a pit stop in my opinion. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, definitely.
As we still, the closest battle on track is between Evil Dog and Montero, and these guys have been going after each other lap after lap after lap, and we see Faizan has made his way now into P7 on the medium tires. So a decent recovery from the start. Crazy Joe is also now in P8, having recovered decently, still in the points, and we have the car of Cryptid also rounding off the top 10.
Definitely.
But again, the field is very spread out, and the closest battle is just about 6 tenths between Monish Banger and the ghosted car of Chicken and Evil Dog. Oh, this is absolutely painful for the ears, and I apologize for that. So we're gonna be just watching from a distance for now.
Yeah, that's better.
The gearbox glitch has been there for the past 2 games, I believe, and it still hasn't been fixed. So that's definitely something. As Deepak Raj has left the session, what has happened over there? He was doing so well, and that is really unfortunate for him. I hope that he can join back really quickly.
Let's
As
hope.
we see the car of Streeter dive into the pits, before RB Ferrello, so this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But he was on about, I believe, 14-15 lap old hard tires, and now comes out on the fresh mediums, and I believe he will be on a charge.
That is definitely true. But come to think of it, those new mediums will actually help him in the later stages of the race when the actual fight between him, Electrip, Monish Manga and RB Ferrello comes into play.
Absolutely. As you see, Faizan hopped into the pits as well, and he has been fitted on a fresh set of mediums and will come out in P11, as there is a huge gap between P11 and 12. So let's see if he can manage to claw his way back into the points, as I believe the car with Deepak Raj is still ghosted, as he has disconnected in the session. As you see that little pop-up that tells us that Deepak Raj is attempting to rejoin the session again. So let's just hope he doesn't lose too many positions because of this, but this is really going to hamper his race, and it is really unfortunate for him.
It indeed is really unfortunate for Deepak Raj to fall down from P6 to P10 again.
As you see the curb cam over here, but oh, there it is, going side by side into the bridge section. Evil Dog has made the move on Monish Banger, and
Monish
has
Banger just
managed to
crashed.
stick. Oh, did he? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh,
He did get a damage. He did get damage on his front wing.
Definitely.
Oh, that is,
Oh, Monish Banger has just hit the wall and lost his end plate, and he will now be going into the pits, limping home, and that is going to be really unfortunate for him and his race. But
quick thing. Who was in front of Evil Dog when Monish and Evil Dog were fighting?
I believe it was Streeter who went for a pit stop. But Streeter is now in P4 on the mediums, and he's just come out on fresh mediums. I think his mediums are not even 2 laps old at this point, so he will be on a charges. His gearbox seems to be broken as well.
No, but RB Ferrello seems to be doing a great job at managing his tires at this track.
Absolutely, and
pretty
I
well.
believe he should be heading in for a pit stop very, very soon. And what I am just hoping is that he might just get, I mean, this is what my prediction will be, but he might just get undercut by Streeter if he does go in for a pit stop, which he will need to. So
Yeah,
we're gonna have to watch out for that. And as of now, we really can't see the gaps because of the times being reset, but we're gonna have to wait till everyone crosses the start finish straight, so we're gonna get more accurate timings. As Montero seems to be struggling a little bit in the corners, the hard tire is not providing him as much grip as he would have liked, but he seems to be holding on for now. As you see, Crazy Joe just about 2/10 off. Nope, that is an error in the lead timing board. And
They're about block 21 or 22 or even 20 right now, because his tires are already yellow.
oh, definitely. As you see 2 cars, who is this? Oh, it is Streeter now lapping Rambo, and it's unfortunate for him. But Streeter is, I believe, just at the fastest lap of a race, but I'm unable to tell what time he actually did put in. But let's go and look at that. Let's see what pace everyone is currently doing. So currently Streeter holds a fastest lap at a 1:39.2, with RB Ferrello's fastest lap being a 1:40.0, but I don't know what exactly he is lapping at this time. Let's actually quickly check that out in Race Director. RB Ferrello is currently lapping around 2 minutes a lap, so I believe he might have had a little off or a mistake over there, but he should be going in for a pit stop, but I believe that his tires might just be dying at this point.
Yeah, that or either that or he's just trying his best to save up his tires.
Definitely, but a 2-minute lap time will
Failing
not
really
help
bad
him
at
out
it.
here.
Yeah, he's just failing really bad at it.
Yeah, definitely. I believe he should hop into the pits, and the gap between Streeter and Ferrello is closing down. It's just about 11 seconds, and Ferrello is now in a very, very tricky spot where if he does pit and come out behind, will he have enough time in just about 10 laps or 8 laps to make up the positions back? This is going to be interesting to watch.
But the most saddening thing today is to see Chicken and Lambo having the worst weekends ever.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we should be seeing one of the new graphics we've had over here. Is that visible to you? The new
Yep,
graphics we have?
it is indeed visible to me. Seems like, definitely. It's a good thing that Arbitrary got the new tires in.
Definitely. And did he pit? I believe he might have. Says Rambo is retired from the session. What has happened? Oh, I believe he's just gone into the pits and retired. As we see Chicken just give way to RB Ferrello as he laps him for what I believe might just be the second time.
That is really sad for Chicken to
Yeah,
actually.
definitely. It is quite unfortunate for me.
Yeah, but it seems like Rambo was done with the whole race and was like, okay, I'm done. I'm retiring, and he just retired.
Definitely. And fair enough. As Chicken gets another 3-second time penalty, which is very unfortunate for him again. As we have Montero right at the back of Streeter, and let's see the tire age. Let's see, does he have fresh enough tires to actually make a move? Montero has 13 lap old tires and he's right on the tail of Streeter with 2 lap old mediums. So I wonder if Streeter made a mistake or if something happened, because he has lost out a tad bit, but now he has also closed down the gap with just 6 seconds to RB Ferrello. But Ferrello has come out on the fresh mediums, and we do see him set the paces now, so we're gonna have to see how this plays out. But Streeter will be coming for Evil Dog as well, I believe, and Streeter definitely will be on the podium. What do you think about that?
Streeter, yes. Evil Duck, yes. Arbiter, definitely. But there's quite a tough chance for how Evil Dog comes into play in the later stages of the race, because he's running on a hard tire that is 10 lap old. Do you really think he could manage that tires to the end of the race? Do you really think he could just go for the end?
Against the fresh mediums, I would say, I mean, Evil Dog can make it to the end, definitely, but his pace is gonna have to be terrible to do that. So I believe he should be going in for another pit stop, but let's see, he might just hang on to the end. But the man to watch out for right now is this man right here. It's Mr. Electrip on the fresh softs making his way up the pack. So you might just see a late race charge from him, and he might just make a disruption in the top 5 or maybe even the top 3. Let's see how it does play out. But we see Cryptid and Deepak Raj both hop into the pits with the soft tires, so this is going to be interesting. We have about 3 drivers now with the soft tires gambling for those last few lap charges, and we're going to have to see how OP the soft tires are against the degrading hards and the mediums.
Yeah, not just that, but Streeter is just hunting Evil Dog down the grid.
Absolutely. And what do you think? We should get that graphic up again. Let's see how many laps he'll take based on the pace.
Definitely.
Absolutely. As I have,
For
here
some
is the
reason,
lap
it really
comparison.
started for me. Yep, it seems like I'm facing troubles with internet connectivity.
Oh, that's
I
unfortunate. But you
apologize.
see, Streeter is lapping currently about close to 2 seconds faster than Evil Dog right now. So that's really, really interesting to watch. I believe he has a very, very fair chance at the podium. As you see, Electrip and Death Hunter go down into turn 1 and turn 2. They come so close, but Electrip seems to have made the mistake. Goes wide on the exit, but gets good enough traction on those fresh soft tires against Death Hunter and manages to keep the position. But Death Hunter is going to be coming back at him. He does have the DRS. He does have ERS, but compared to Electrip, I think both of them have very less ERS. So Electrip is getting really, really good traction out of the zones, and traction is one of the things that is extremely important here in a track like Singapore. So I believe Electrip might just hold on to his position. As you see, Streeter now just 4.7 seconds, 4.6 off Evil Dog, and he is on a charge. As Evil Dog's pace is dropping off right now, we are going to see a last lap showdown maybe. We're going to have to watch out for that. But the gaps are closing in. If we can...
It's right about time for Evil Dog to actually go into the pits, dive into the pits, slap on new tires, and actually
Definitely. I would cut the
manage
losses if I was
somehow.
him.
Yes, manage to somehow get a few points before he totally loses the whole race.
Absolutely. As you see, Montero's on 15 lap old hard tire, so Electric is going to be hunting for him as well. 15 lap old versus 3 lap soft, it's very clear who the winner is going to be. But will Electric have enough time to just make up the gap really quickly? We're going to have to watch out for that as well. This race has become exciting once more, and in the closing stages, the strategies have come and have played out, as we have people on the soft tires and the medium tires and the lone 3 hard tire runners who are on 11 lap old, 16 lap old and 12 lap old hards. So we're gonna have to see how they hold off all the fresh, medium and soft runners.
Let's talk about the tire strats. You see Electric just flying to the
What has
front
happened
one.
over there?
It seems like Monish Manga just went off.
Oh, it was
Oh,
Monk.
it was
It was one of the
Monk.
Alpha Boys. Monk has just outbraked himself, maybe locked up and gone straight into the corner. And
Right.
Scripted gets an easy position out of that. Scripted is on the fresh soft tires and will also be on a charge. Faizan is right on the tail of Monish Banger, and this race is just heating up. We have battles going all around, and it is really fun to watch.
It's definitely fun to watch, and it's giving me this adrenaline rush that let me get into an F1 car and race in Tier 3 as well.
absolutely. It is quite fun racing these cars in this game. Singapore is one of the notoriously hard tracks, so
Yeah,
all the drivers
definitely
racing here
it is.
have immense dedication and they have immense courage to race here. As we saw Tier 1, we had 4 or 5 people who were willing to race here and everyone else did not want to, so we had to eventually do away with the race. But Tier 2 has come out here in full force and is sticking out to the end of the race, giving us some beautiful battles to watch, and we commend them for that.
Definitely, but as we talk about it, we'll see a lot of gaps closing in the later stages of the race.
As you see Faizan just sliding around, I believe he must have his tire temperatures through the roof right now, and Singapore is known for his notorious tire temperatures as well, so I believe he might just be struggling that little bit with the tires. As Streeter's now put the gap down to just close to 4 seconds. His pace seems to have dropped off a little bit, but he is still on a charge, and I believe we might just get some last lap action at this pace.
Definitely. It seems like Electric is actually managing to keep up with his pace and close it in the gap between him and Monterio.
Absolutely, Montero is on
that's
70
something-
lap hours now, so he's going to be absolutely a sitting duck for him, and his tires are going to be screaming. But let's quickly put on the striking lap graphic again, and we should know how this battle is going to play out. And if you can just let us know what the deltas are.
Oh, it seems like Electric is almost 2 seconds faster than Monterio's Mercedes.
Absolutely, 2 seconds faster. That just shows you the soft tires versus the hard tires, and the hard tires are 70 laps old. So Electric is absolutely on a charge, and this is the kind of delta we need, or a driver needs, to actually make an overtake around here. So it is looking good for Electric, and if he keeps his pace up, he'll definitely have a position in the top 4.
Yep, not just that, and we see WTF Chicken getting another stop and go penalty.
Oh, that is
At this
really,
point,
really
I don't
unfortunate.
wish to just be in that Renault right now.
Absolutely
It's
good. What has
something
happened
that
here to
is happening
Streeter?
behind me.
Streeter has dropped back, and now the gap is 7 seconds to Evil Dog. I don't know what's happened to him, but he seems to have had a little moment somewhere and lost close to about 3 to 4 seconds. So now it is looking increasingly difficult for him to actually finish in P2, but it is still a podium regardless.
Yeah, regardless is still a podium, agreed, but at the same time he's actually closing in the gap. I don't know. I reckon it's because of the fact that he's still on fresh and mediums with 7 lap old mediums, I guess.
Absolutely, as we can go on board Monish Banger and Faizan. Faizan seems to be struggling, and Monish Banger is increasing the gap that slight bit more, but they both seem to be holding their own as of now.
Sorry, I just want to... Anyways, let's get on board with Electric, and seems like he's going almost 8 tenths faster than Monterio right now. And I hardly doubt that'll be enough for him to actually throw a move on Monterio, considering the fact that his tires are constantly degrading down, and they'll eventually make him a sitting duck in later stages of the race. But at the same time,
Absolutely.
yeah, at the same time, Crazy Joe has like Death Hunter has quite a lot of gap between him and Electrip. So Electrip is, safe from the behind, but it's still a tough risk for him to actually deploy an attack on Monterio.
Absolutely. If you can just give me a second, I'm trying to sort out a little technical issue I'm having. Here we do have. Okay, we do seem to be good now. As we have just close to 3 laps remaining, it is boiling down to the final few laps, and we see Electrip with now a 2.6 second delta. His pace seems to have dropped out a bit, but it is expected. He is now on 7 lap old softs, and this is right about the time that the softs fall off the cliff. So he might just have to stick behind, and Montero might just finish in the position he is currently running right now.
Yeah.
We
Not
have
just that.
Faizan now coming
Yeah.
ever so close to Monish Mango, with the gap now just close to 6 tenths. He does have DRS, but absolutely no ERS, and Monish Mango should be able to defend that fairly easily.
Yeah, consider the fact that there's no ERS on our boy Faizan's racing point. I think Manish Banga will easily save up his position.
As we see WTF Chicken absolutely on a flyer. I believe he is on the soft tires, and he might just be going for that fastest lap, trying to take the point away from the top 10 runners. And from Streeto, I believe, who holds it as of now.
Yeah, Chicken just came in like, oh, fastest lap? Nope, I'll take it.
Absolutely, and he is one of the really quick drivers, just very unlucky in the races, and we've seen him have a couple of incidents throughout the season which have hampered him, but at the start of the season I would have considered him to be one of the championship leaders of the runners, as he gets another 3-second time penalty, and that is not going to be good for his fastest lap, as I believe if you do get a penalty, your lap will be invalidated and not counted as the fastest lap, so you might just have to go for another one. As Faizan is just about 6.5 tenths behind, 7 tenths. Let's see if he can manage to make a move down in turn 1, but it seems a little bleak due to the ERS shortage. He is inching closer.
He just lost a bit of traction out of the final corner on the back straight.
Absolutely, and he gets so close, just about 3 tenths of a second. He almost goes into him, but manages to hit the apex very well. Faizan is doing really well as of now. He's keeping the pressure on Monish Banger, and he has DRS now. He will be trying for the overtake. Gets in the slipstream, and let's see if he can pull it off. Oh! He's managed to get it all wrong. He should have had the overtake done, but he just veers into Monish Banger, loses his front wing, and this is not looking good for him. That is really unfortunate, and he might just have to go to the pits for a wing change and lose out on the top 10 points.
Yeah, and eventually come out on P10.
Absolutely, but he's lost a whole chunk of wing, and that is not good for him. Oh, he lost the other half of the wing, and he's just ping-ponging off the balls right now. What is happening? He's absolutely just ping-ponging off the balls and leaving debris everywhere.
A quick thing, does debris in this game actually affect tire punches and tire wears?
So I believe we currently are running on regular damage.
So if it's on
But
simulation,
if you do put it on simulation, yes, debris will puncture your tires. As if you've ever raced around one of our fan favorites, which is Monaco simulation damage. If anyone even loses as much as the front wing and you drive over it, you've lost your tire right there. That's straight up sponsor.
that is no, that's the worst nightmare for a driver.
Absolutely, which is why we do run negative corner cutting. As we see Faizan again hit the wall, and he's donated his absolute full front wing. He's just left it right there on track. He's left maybe 100 different parts of his wing all over track, just leaving his mark as he dives into the pits. And the gap to the guy behind him about 20 seconds. I don't know if he's going to keep the top 10 position or not, but he has lost.
There's no way he's able to keep it up.
He didn't even change his wing. I believe there is an issue right here where he hasn't even changed his wing. He might have just forgotten, but it's gone from bad to worse from him, and that's really unfortunate.
Unfortunate, yeah, exactly.
Yes, he does come out and peel P11, but without a wing as Electrip has crashed. What has happened over here? Oh no, Electrip was in the top 5. He's on charge, but 9 laps old soft tires just gave out. He lost it on traction and he went into the wall. That is really, really unfortunate for him. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Our pole sitter is now lost out as Faizan has retired from the session. He's crashed as we see.
I think Electric just went off yet again.
As we see Faizan here just hit the wall and finally DNF, and that is unfortunate, but with no wing I believe he was trying to push and just couldn't control the car. As Electric has again lost out. I believe he's lost his wing as well. Or not.
Yep.
Oh, his rear tires are
Definitely
absolutely
has.
lipped up. That's a little bit of a commentator's curse. I should not have said that. But Electric has again lost out. I believe his tires are on fire right now. And there we go. Another spin. This is really unfortunate. But let's go on board as Chicken is retired. What is happening over here? But yes, Chicken has gone into the pits and retired, which is unfortunate for him. There are more yellow flags everywhere. And there he is, Electric, the man who was running in P4, now lapped by the man who did not put a foot wrong this whole race. RB Fellow was the man to look out for today. He was on the charge from lap 1. He was on the pace. He had the strategy absolutely nailed down. No mistakes. And as he entered the final section, Electric is retired on, I believe he just retired on track because he's absolutely done with his race. But this man right here, yes, the absolute guy to look out for today. He was the guy who did not put a foot wrong as he comes across the final corner. And RB Pirello wins the Singapore Grand Prix at round 12 of Tier 2 in IRC Esports. Let's go. It's a beautiful, beautiful race for him. As Evilog comes around the corner and takes that P2 position, gaining some good points for the Alfa Romeo family. As we see someone get a stop-go penalty at the last lap. A Streeter with a brilliant drive, and this is personally my driver of the day. This man has come home from the back of the grid right into P12. I mean, correction, he's come right into P3, got on the podium, had a brilliant race, and this is the man who will be my driver of the day. What do you think?
I'll definitely give my driver of the day to Streeter as well. The vote goes to Streeter, definitely.
Absolutely, and we have Anish Montero come home in P4. We have Death Hunter and Crazy Joe battling out at the last second. Crazy Joe takes the lead. What has happened over here? Did Death Hunter run out of fuel? I believe Death Hunter might have just lost out and maybe just finished his fuel, but Crazy Joe took the lead, and Monish Banger, because of the penalties, manages to jump both of them and takes into P5, and we have Crazy Joe in P6 with a good recovery after the incidents he's had, and Death Hunter in P7. Unfortunate for him that he just ran out of fuel. We have Cryptid come home in P8. We have Deepak Raj now come home in P9 and Monk in P10, and that rounds out the top 10. And what a brilliant, brilliant race we saw over here.
The events that unfolded tonight, they were great.
Oh, it was better than I expected, and although there were some dull moments, when there was action happening, there was action happening absolutely everywhere.
Yep, definitely.
As we should be going on, and let's check out the top 10. So we have RB Ferrello, who finished the race in P1. What a brilliant, brilliant drive. If it was not for Streeter, RB Ferrello would have been my driver of the day. Man did not put a foot wrong. Started from the second place. Managed to take first within the first few laps. Didn't put a foot wrong. Got the strategy absolutely right. And finished the race in a very strong P1. Some good points for the constructor and the driver championship. Evil Doc in P2. Again, really good points. Good drive for him. He recovered well from P7. Streeter, man, who was on a mission, P14 to P3, absolutely brilliant. Anish Montero in P4 for the Mercedes. It's a good result for him considering he had a few incidents here and there. Monish Banger in P5, Crazy Joe P6, Death Hunter P7, Cryptid in P8 and P9, Deepak Raj, and Monk in P10. That rounds off the top 10. And then we had Abhi20 in P11, Scary Pumpkin P12, Electric in P13, who started on pole, was doing really, really well. Could have been in the podium positions, but just lit up his tires in the final few laps and lost out. We have Faizan in P14, who did not finish, I believe. Oh, he did fill up WTF Chicken. Yep, and we have the DNFs, which are Faizan, WTF Chicken, Rambo, Akash, and Karthik DRM. What a race it was.
It's
Absolutely what a race.
definitely a bummer to see what happened last weekend. It was totally reversed with what happened this weekend. Electric was usually the one to go from the back of the grid to top 10 scoring and top 5 scoring points. But today we saw him go from pole to ending out of points, and it just sucks. It really just breaks my heart to see something as such happen.
Absolutely. And now we should move on to the podium interviews, and I believe we're gonna just ask the drivers to now join in to our discussions.
And it seems like we have RB Ferrello in the com box.
Oh,
RB,
here we have the man, RB Ferrello.
the man of the day. Hello.
It's a good day for Red Bull overall.
Yeah. Definitely the Red Bull boys.
Absolutely.
The Red Bull boys shown great pace today. I'm really sad for Rambo's loss, of course, but take us through your experience. How do you feel with the race results tonight?
So the race result for me is good, but for Rambo, I feel very sad because he had few incidents. I guess we were talking on VC, so
Absolutely, yeah. The race went from bad to worse for him, but you were the man to talk about. You started at P2, you had an insane first few laps, you managed to take the lead in P1, and then you didn't put a foot wrong. You got your strategy absolutely spot on, you made no mistakes, and finally ended up finishing in first. And definitely, that was a brilliant, brilliant drive, and it's something we've seen you do all season long. So, congratulations on the win.
it was all planned. Like I coming down to this race, I planned for 2 stops instead of soft and hards. I didn't wanted to drive the understeery cars.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it seems like it did pay off really, really well.
Yeah, man.
And
It
can you
was
just
quite
talk us
tough.
through your first few laps starting at P2 and how you managed to catch out Electric and take the lead?
So initially, I saw Electric using a lot of ERS, where I didn't use any of mine. I had like 90% plus ERS. So lap 3, I had the chance. I overtook him with all my ERS. I spent it all, but then it was all about tire management and fuel management. Also, I had underfueled my car, so 3 laps of underfuel. So that really helped me.
The fueling.
Definitely, definitely, and that did seem to pay off in the end. And Singapore being such a track where overtaking is tough, you managed to make the move and then just managed to extend your lead and do great from there. So that
And
was an
that's
absolutely
how
great
it-
drive.
Like Singapore gets into the nerves. My legs are hurt. I mean, paining.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It's really a test of mental strength, and this track has been, is definitely one of the most technical and the toughest ones on the track. And you managed to absolutely ace it and win it. So that's really, really great for you. And we're just gonna try to get the other 2 podium sitters on here. I'm unable to track them down at the moment, but
Yeah, I reckon that's pretty much it for the podium interviews.
we can give it another 2 minutes and see if they do want to join. I'm just going to. Okay, Streeter cannot make it, but we will have Evil Dog joining us really, really soon.
Oh, that's glad to hear that.
Definitely, but let's just talk about Streeter really quick. This man started from, I believe, P16. He had a really good race, stayed incident free. He got the strategy to work, and he did end up finishing on P3. At a point, we thought he could maybe overtake Evil Dog and go to P2, but he's managed to stick it in the end and finish with a really, really strong P3. So that was really, really great for him, and it's good to see him up on the podium. And here we have joining us is Evil Dog, our P2 man.
Evil Dog.
Are you there, Evil Dog?
Yep.
Hi, so
Hello.
it was
Yeah,
great
yeah.
to see your race. You had a very bold strategy, completely opposite to most of the field, where you ended up on the hards, where the rest were on the mediums. Just talk us through the final stint and how tough it was to keep up the pace on those very, very old hard tires.
Yeah, it was kind of tricky, but I think the strategy was okay. But towards the end of the first stint, I got a front wing damage, had to pit to change the wings. And thanks to the game, the pit crew was not ready. And that was almost a 12-second pit stop.
Oh, that's really
Which
unfortunate.
Yeah, which actually lost so much position and time with respect to maybe the battery. So like when you saw, like if that was at least okay, then I could have at least been in front of RB when he came out after his second pit stop.
Right,
But
definitely. Yeah, that was
but
unfortunate
I
lap
don't
one.
think, yeah, yeah. But again, I don't think that might have stopped him from winning. But I could have given him some.
We've seen you both go at it all season long. We've seen both of you get in the most insane battles we've seen. Today was a bit unfortunate for you with the incidents that happened, but you did manage to make a really, really great recovery and still end up on the podium. Can you just talk us through the first lap? What really happened with the incidents? Because we saw a lot of nudging and barging here and there, and all the cars are really, really close to each other. So
Yeah,
what
I
is
think okay. Maybe I got punted to T1, then T3, and at the end of the DRS as well. Most probably that might be the braking misjudgment from the guys behind. Not sure. Need to check the replays again. Uh, yeah, I was kind of keeping a safe distance with respect to braking as well, so that we don't get a front wing damage early in the game. Otherwise, that would have
definitely?
been yeah.
And one thing that we saw today was, as we've seen, the Alpha boys and the Red Bull boys are fighting it out all season. But today, both of your teammates had really, really unfortunate races. With both of your teammates having a lot of incidents and eventually just dropping down the pack. Can you just talk us how that affects the Constructors' Championship?
I think we are comfortable right now.
Oh, well, to be
That,
honest, at this point, the Red Bulls are way past the Alpha Boys. I'm really sorry if I hit know that, but that's pretty much true. You can go on the website and see the gap of 100 points between both of the Constructors
No,
Championship.
absolutely. But we still have bragging rights for the point difference as well. And we've seen the Alpha boys always just battle it out. So that was the question. For
Definitely,
Evil
definitely.
Dog, even like it was quite interesting to see both of you finish on the podium, and both your teammates who are very, very competitive as well and usually up there have some extremely terrible races. So that is unfortunate for them. But you guys were the one who managed to stick it out and managed to get the win. So congratulations on the podiums, guys. And
Yeah, definitely. Hearty congratulations for the for
for the
both
win
of you,
and the podium.
for the
Yep.
winners. Yeah, for the podium series.
So
thanks, man.
that does seem like that will be all for today. It was a very, very interesting race, and we thank you for joining us today for our Singapore Grand Prix. And we'll be signing off, me and Nifty.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and that'll be it for tonight.